ನಿಂತವರು ಯಾರು ಅವರ ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸರ ಮಳಿಗೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಬಾರದು, ಅವರುಗಳಿಂದ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡಬಾರದು, ನಾವು ಬೆಳೆದಂತ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಬಾರದು. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವಳು ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರ್ತಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು 1920ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಿಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಹೋರಾಟಗಳ ಅಗ್ರಗಣ್ಯರಂತ ನೆನಪಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಯಾಕಂತೇಳಿ ಅಸಹಕಾರ ಚಳವಳಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರೇ ಭಾರತ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ತೊಡಗಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದವರು. ಅದನ್ನೇ 1545ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧಿಯವರು 1920ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಹಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ 1545 ರಾಜರು ರಾಣಿಯರೆಲ್ಲ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯಿಂದ ಹೇಳುವಂತದ್ದು ಈ ದೇಶದ ಪ್ರಪ್ರಥಮ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರ್ತಿ ವೀರರಾಣಿ ಹಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ. ಈ ಊರಿನವಳು ತವಳವ ರಾಣಿ, ಬೆಂಕಿಯ ರಾಣಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂತದ್ದು. ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸರ ಸುಮಾರು ಒಂದು 400 ಹಡಗುಗಳಿಗೆ ರಾತ್ರಿ ದೋಣಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಬೆಂಕಿ ಹಚ್ಚಿ ಅವರ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸೈನಿಕರು ಸೇನಾಧಿಪತಿಗಳೇ ಬಂದವರು. ಯುದ್ಧ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಾಯೋದು ಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಬೇರೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವರು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಕುದುರೆಯೇರಿ ಯುದ್ಧ ಮಾಡಿದವಳು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಕುದುರೆಯೇರಿ ಯುದ್ಧ ಮಾಡಿದವಳು ಹಬ್ಬಗಳಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಭಾರಿ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಕೆಂಪೇಗೌಡರದ್ದು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ನಗರವನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿದವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಸಮೇತ ನಾವು ಆಚರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಬಾವಟಗುಡ್ಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಮೇಗೌಡ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಮೂರ್ತಿಯನ್ನ ಇನಾಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಂತೋಷ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ. ಹಬ್ಬಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಈ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ, ಈ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೊಂದು ಚಿರಸ್ಥಾಯಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಸಂತೋಷ. ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಮಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಧಾನಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ರು, ಅವರು ನೆನಪಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು, ವೀರರಾಣಿ ಹಬ್ಬಗಳನ್ನ ನೆನಪಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ತವಳವ ರಾಣಿ ಈ ದೇಶದ ಪ್ರಥಮ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರ್ತಿ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಈ ಇತಿಹಾಸದ ಉದ್ದಕ್ಕೂ ಕಿತ್ತೂರು ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಸಂಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ರಾಯಣ್ಣ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಝಾನ್ಸಿ ರಾಣಿ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀಬಾಯಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ತಾಜಾಕೋಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಮಂಡಲ್ ಪಾಂಡೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನಿತರ ಹಲವಾರು ಜನ, ಸುಮಾರು ಲೆಕ್ಕಾಚಾರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ 462 ಜನರನ್ನ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರರು ಅಂತ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಗುರುತು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಥಮ ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂತವಳೇ ರಾಣಿ ಹಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ. ಆ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಾವು 1997ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವವನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಣಿಯನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ನೆನಪಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೆನಪಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಮಾತ್ರ ಸತ್ಯ, ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಹಬ್ಬಗಳನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಟಲಿಯ ಪ್ರವಾಸಿ ಗಲಾವಿಲ್ಲೆ ಅವರನ್ನ ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸಿನ ರಾಯಭಾರಿ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀನ್ ಎಂದಾದರೂ ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗು, ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಉಳ್ಳಾಳ ಅಂತಂದ್ರು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಣಿ ಹಬ್ಬಗಳನ್ನು ಕಂಡು ಮಾತನಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಾ ಅಂತ. ಆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಅಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧಿಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆದಿದ್ದಂತ ಹೆಣ್ಣು, ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ರಾಣಿ. ಆ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತು ಹಬ್ಬಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೆನಪಿಸುವಂತ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನೀವು, ನಮ್ಮ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇಷ್ಟೇ, ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಹಬ್ಬಗಳನ್ನ ಈ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ, ಇಡೀ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಈ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ, ಈ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿರಸ್ಥಾಯಿಯಾಗಿಗೊಳಿಸುವ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನೀವು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಮುಂದೆ ನೀವು ಏನಾಗ್ತೀರ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಿಂತ ಇತಿಹಾಸಗಳನ್ನು ಓದಿಕೊಂಡು, ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಜನ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ವಿಜ್ಞಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು, ಸಮಾಜ ಸೇವೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಈ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ನೀವು ಕೈತನ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಣಿ ಹಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ 1545ರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪ್ರದೇಶವನ್ನ ಆಳಿದವಳು. ಅವಳನ್ನ ಹೆಸರನ್ನ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನೀವು ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡು ರಾಣಿ ಹಬ್ಬಗಳನ್ನ ವೈಭವೀಕರಿಸುವ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಳಿದ ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಂತ ವಿನಂತಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಲಿ, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಹೋಗುವ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಉತ್ಸವ, ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನ ನಾವು ದೀಪ ಬೆಳಗಿಸಿ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಾವು ದೀಪ ಬೆಳಗಿಸುವಂತೆ ಕತ್ತಲೆಯನ್ನ ಓಡಿಸುವುದು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಕತ್ತಲೆಯನ್ನು ದೂರ ಮಾಡಿ ಬೆಳಕಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು. ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಖ ನೀವು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಖ ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬೆಳಕು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಅಗತ್ಯ. ಆ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹಾರೈಸಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್, ಜೈ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ.
Appaka is not a name of a lady, or Appaka is not a name of a person. It's a Manitan. It is a name of a Kutumba, like your Bandari, Shetty, or your Viran Hegde and all. Appaka is a Jain queen. She is not from a Hindu community. She is a Jain queen. Abaka was a queen of Ulla, but she was appointed as from Tirumal Raya. Her actual capital is Puttige. Puttige is near to Mudabidre. Puttige, Mudabidre, Mangalore, Ullal, these are all the places were famous for Jain community that time. They were the rulers. Chauta dynasties, Jain dynasties means Chauta dynasties. They were there from last in 1100 continuously. They were ruling this Tudu Nadu, and they were capital of Puttige. There that her uncle made Rani Abbaka to Ullal's Rani Abbaka. Now coming to Bangaraja, who is Bangadi? Bangaraja means he is from Bangadi district. Bangadi is a place where you can see in Panamangalore district and all. They are also Jain Kutumbas. They were ruling in Mangalore. Bangadi Lakshman Arasa 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that Abbaka 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever it is there. They were also Jains and they were ruling in Mangalore. This is not known to anybody. Now I am coming to the main part of it, Portuguese. 1497, the Portugal was a small country. Like you can see, imagine the Karnataka is less than half of our country. This is half of our state. Maybe now it is 1 crore population, some of these things. 1497, they were a maritime emperor of that time. Near to that Portugal, there is Spain also there. 1497, the year is very important. That time, the Portugal was ruled by the king. All the European countries were ruled by the king. Even now, you can see England also ruled by the king and queen and all this. That time also, the Portugal was ruled by the king only. Vasco da Gama, he was only a sailor. He was not a big, captain or something like that. The intention was that they have to. They knew that Portuguese and the Spains, they knew that there are a lot of sambar items, that is like pepper, jaggery, whatever, cardamom, what you call yalaki and other things. They were all coming to them, but it was coming from not from the direct route, it is coming from the Arab and Persia and then come to the European countries. And it was very costly. All West Coast and Indian items were very costly. So they wanted to find out where is it India, this thing. And they want to know, they want to buy the things. As a mercenary they came here, they didn't come as a purchasing the things and all. So Vasco da Gama, they appointed Vasco da Gama with 4 naval ships, 150 sailors. They came, earlier they were coming up to the African countries. Why they were coming to African countries? Can anybody guess? The slave business. All European countries were attacking the African countries to buy the slaves. Slaves means human beings. They are black in color. They were selling they were a good market in European countries, other places and all. All you can call, we can't call them a Negro as well, but it's not out of word now. The black people, they were being purchased and sold to the European countries. And there is the abundance of gold was also there in that. Mining was also going on in African countries. So they were knowing it. So Vasco da Gama, he came down to or Africa, Cape Town that is called. Then he turned back and came to the eastern of Africa. There he there is one Arab navy, he is called the Muslim navigator. He suggested that this is the western of India. So let me help you at all. That's why how Vasco da Gama came to Calicut. If you go to Calicut, you can see that Vasco da Gama, 1940, 1904, 98, Kapad, that is a place called Calicut. Even now it is there, Vasco da Gama, arrived here and all. Why it is very important? That the first time that anybody, Europeans, colonized people came to India. And you know, one more story was there in between. The Columbus, he also started coming to India thinking that it is going to Indians. But unfortunately, and luckily, he went towards west side and he found South America, the West Indians, what you call this is found by the Columbus. That is why the name has come West Indians and West Indians. He was thinking that was India and that's why it's called West Indians. So Columbus went there. Now the story of this Vasco da Gama, how very important I told you the capacity of Portuguese. After coming from Vasco da Gama and after he traveled, he came to Calicut, there was a king who was there, Jamarin king. That Jamarin also name is a name of a family, which is Manatana. He also ruled for 100. That time the Jamarin king welcomed Vasco da Gama for only few days. But then he realized that all their purchaser, all his this thing were all Muslims and all. They said, no, we don't want to allow this Calicut, all Raja, don't allow him at all. So Vasco da Gama has to retreat from there, Calicut. Then he traveled back, he went to Cochin, he purchased pepper, he came to Kannur, he came all the way to your South Canara, he came Kundapur, he came Karwar. Then he went back. He identified the places, which are the places are all there and all. After 35 years of Portuguese coming to India, can you imagine such a half of Karnataka? They conquered 50 countries of the world. 50 countries of the world, including Brazil, including Sri Lanka, Malacca, including China, including Japan. All western coast, even the eastern coast of India also. Hitting everybody, conquering every places and bombarding each places. Only 3 places in India, of course western coastal places, they resisted this. One is Calicut our king Jamarin and Queen Rani Abbaka, and another queen is there, Gerusuppe, Channabaila. These are the only 3 places where they did not agree for Portuguese. Everywhere they surrendered. All, you know that the situation that time was Vijayanagara was ruling empire of this thing. They were all, these people were all Samantas. They were all fitted to all Vijayanagara this thing. Rani Abbaka, even Mangalore Raja also, even Karnal Raja also, even all this. They were all coming from under the Vijayanagara this empire. So the Mangalore was captured by this thing. That time the ruling was done by the Bangarasas, which I told you that Bangaradha is there and he was also Jain and all these things. During that time, all they captured, I've been telling you, even the Ceylon, Goa, they formed a capital in Goa, because instead of going to Lisbon, they can't go to Lisbon and all. They said, okay, we'll make a capital of Goa as this thing. They were controlling the Goa and all. They were sending a message to Rani Abbaka, their queen. You please surrender. You surrender, otherwise bombard them. Because king of Bangarasa, Lakshman Bangarasa, who ruled Mangalore, already surrendered. He gave a place to Portuguese to form a fortress. What do you mean by fortress? If you can understand what the fortress means, the Portuguese fortress means, it will have a chapel, it will have a house, it will have a factory, it will have a palace, some sort of big house, everything. And maybe comprising maybe around 5-6 acres of land is full boundary and all. So they formed everywhere except these 3 places. Bangaraja already given a permission to start and gave a cup and all. So as Jairam Shetty has told you, that was the main period. It is not, war was not started in 1955, 4-5, but 1955, 4-5, Rani became in Ulla, and 1955, the first wars took place against Portuguese. Portuguese bombarded Ulla and all. That time, Rani refused. Rani did not surrender at all. the fiercely fighting. Rani was such a distinct fierce fighting. She did not allow any of the Portuguese to land and all, either by land or by ship and all. The main reason why Rani was, there was a matrimonial alliance between Bangaraja and this thing. They married each other. In 1960 and 1960, they got married each other. And the Rani was queen of Bangaraja's wife. He was insisting on Rani to surrender. Please surrender her. Rani said very clearly to her husband, I will not surrender to Portuguese at any cost. I am a Swabhimani girl, self-respect. This is what Rani Ambaka has told her husband. This was been told to the Portuguese. At any cost, I will not surrender. Imagine she left her husband, thinking that my nation, my place is more than for my husband. The Portuguese also pressured her. The 1 year which has come, 1968, which should be known to everybody, that time the Portuguese came to Ullal by land, destroyed Ullal fully. Everything was destroyed. Not even a coconut trees, not even a fields. It was fully all empty places and all. They thought the Rani was killed or something like that. And during that time, the Rani was having so many soldiers of all communities. Now you can see here Mugaviras. Now you can see Gattis or Nalashi Gattis, Timmaparayaka, Channamarakala. Kutti Pokara he has come from Kerala. He was assisting Rani Ambaka. Kutti Pokara is a general of your Javelin king. He was also assisting Rani Ambaka to help. So Rani Ambaka, Vijayanagara Empire did not help Rani Ambaka. And that time, Vijayanagara Empire also is collapsed. You can make out Talikota, this thing and all. Adil Shah fought with Vijayanagara, Empire is collapsed. 1968 is a year which they bombarded like anything. But Rani saved. Rani went to there was one mosque was there, Alekala Mosque. You can remember that place. This is Alekala Mosque. She was hidden. She was protected by the Muslims. In Ullal, it is still there now, Alekala Mosque. So in the night, so happened all the admirals or generals or captains of Portuguese thought that Ullal was captured by them. But they were enjoying. They were drinking, dancing and all, with a light on this. But all the soldiers of Ullal, they came with all back faces. They went to their tent and all. They burned them. Joel Pexeto was the admiral, he was resisting. He was murdered, he was butchered, and they went. All the Portuguese were there. And the Rani survived at that time. The Ullal survived. 1968 of the history of the Ullal, which they bombarded like anything. Nowhere else they bombarded like this. But nowhere else. This is the time which the news went to the Goa, this news went to even all the European countries. Who is this Rani? Who is Rani Ambaka? Who attacked such a mighty Portuguese? Already 50 countries they have so much. They have a navy this thing. The news went all the way to the European countries, Persian countries, and other places. Almost 6-7 times till 1980, 1580, the Rani was there. She was called a Hiriya Ambaka. There's the second Ambaka, what we call. We are talking about the Hiriya Ambaka. We don't say that the second Ambaka at all. She still survived till 1580. She didn't die because of Portuguese, but she was, her death was because of her husband's idea, his comrade. They backstabbed her because of Portuguese instigations. They backstabbed her and she died in Ullal. She was actually, in fact, you can see there the Abanjara place is there. This thing. Now coming to the next part of this thing. See, this Appaka family ruled almost 80, 90 years of Ullav. No family in that time ruled for 80, 90 years except your Jamarin, even Rani Bairadevi ruled only for 40 years. The next comes after this Appaka death. Probably the history says that one more Raja was in Ullav, but it's not very sure. Then comes Kiriya Appaka. Probably she was her own daughter. She started ruling. She was ferocious. Even the Kiriya Appaka was not at all this thing. She learned everything of the individual fighting. She was holding the sword. She was very good in Bana, the arrow, this thing and all. She trained everything, every Ullav. She built a quota. She protected everything, such that no Portuguese can come into the inside of this thing and all. She had such intelligence, this thing and all. Almost all the court activities was started by her. Nobody could touch her. So inside they were all, from inlands they were exporting and this thing and all. Still, even when the Portuguese, mighty Portuguese was there, when they were issuing the passes, when they were destroying all the naval ships in the Arabian seas or any other seas, they were called king of seas. Every district, they used give a pass. You take the pass, you give up your taxes. That time also Portuguese, they could not conquer Ullal. And she was ferocious like anything. That's what she was called. Arrow Rani and Benkina Rani and she was there. Jairam Shetty has mentioned about her in this thing. History and all these things came out only because of Dalla, Italian traveler. He was a traveler who traveled right from Italy and he wanted to travel. He already traveled this thing. That is the time when he went to the Persia. That Persia king. He was mentioning, to the Persia king. I am going all these places to the western coast, Goa, Daman, Diu, Goa, all these things. The Persia king has told him, whenever if you go to this place, Mangalore, please go to the place Ullal, because everybody knows that Ullal, Queen Rani Appaka, such a great queen. She is like Elizabeth I, that's the biggest name you can give to anybody in this world is Queen of Elizabeth. You don't remember, don't say this is Elizabeth who died and all. That time also Elizabeth I was there in England. So go and see her. So this traveler is Dalavelle, comes all the way. He meets even Gersuppe Rani Bairadevi also. It was almost 1624, he comes to Ullal. But when he comes to Ullal, he sees all the Ullal places, but Rani is not there. The Rani, then he goes back to Mangalore and they say that Rani is in Madali, where he called Madali is on the way to Puttigu. If you are all people know very well, this Gurpur river goes to the Madali. And very near to the Madali there is a Podale temple is there. So there that palace is there, Madali palace. She was ruling that also, Madali also and Puttigu also. So he goes there to meet Rani Appaka. Can you imagine how she looks and all? Not very, if you see the Rani like a Kirita and all these things. She was working in the field, agricultural field. She was coming out of the agricultural field with the five on this thing and all. Bare-legged, without any Kirita, without any bangles, without any these things. Just like one, olden days, this thing and all. If you see a lady, old days, you will know that they only cover up just and this thing and all. This one is getting suspect whether she is a Rani or something like that. She asks, who is your Rani? And she obliged, she talks. It's not like a very big Rani and all. That focus is not very, she is a Rani and all these things. Very mild, very very simple way of life. Like, she is little black, fat and short and all things. But she talked like a Rani and all. Whatever questions, Nivasa people are there, a translator will be there. She is answered and he was very happy to see that she takes care of him. She takes him to her palace. She shows all the things. She tells him to stay for one day. He stays for one day. Describes him. He writes all the story about all Rani Appaka and writes. And again he asks for his her interview next day, but she doesn't give the interview. That day, when he went to the palace of Rani, her son was also there. That he is writing all these things and all. So this Dallavale story is the prominent one. Please understand. Never ever anybody written about Rani Ampaka except Dallavale and all. Till that time, almost 80 years or 90 years, even 100 years, Ullal could not be captured by the Portuguese at all. Not anybody else. This is how Ampaka should be prominent. Dallavale is written, whatever written in Italian was translated only to under 50 years back. The story of Ampaka came to the light only after Dallavale. It was written in Italian, it was translated to English by the English writer. That time only everybody knew that Rani Ampaka was the queen of Ullal who fought against Portuguese. And she fought for 90 years of the whole Ampaka family fought against this thing. All, why she is famous today and all, why she was famous that time, she involved every one of them. Muslims, even the local Christians were there. Portuguese was a Christian, but local Christians were there. Hindus, and they were all armies of consistent, all warfare support, all Muslims, they were, everybody, Magaviras, especially Magaviras were there. This is the story of Ampaka untold. It is not told to anybody else. Nowhere it is written, it is there. You can read something somewhere here and there, this thing. But Ampaka fought, Ampakas, you can say Ampakas, they fought 90 years. The Portuguese or anybody else could not this thing. Ampaka, in fact, after Vijayanagara, the Ikkeri Nayaks, Venkatappa Nayaks supported, and Jamarin supported, and that time also they could not this thing. Then they came that Hyder Ali and Tippu, then the British. So this is the story of Ullal, this is the story of Rani Ampaka. And just 5-10 minutes I will talk to you about this thing and all. You have heard about Kutti Pokare. He is the general of our Kunyali Kuttis. This thing. Have you heard of Markara Kunyali? Anybody has heard it? You heard it. You heard of it. There is a Markara movie has come. Anybody from Kerala? There is a Kunyali Markara movie has come. Mohanlal has acted on that. Recently it is released. If you see that movie, you can see all the this thing and all. How Ampaka was to fight and all these things. The coconut shells are there, coconut sute. You can say, oh, there is one more coconut sute. Can you make out what is coconut sute? She was holding the coconut sute and fighting with all of these things. They were putting the oil and all these things. They were throwing to the ship and all. And they were throwing all these things, the arrow of this thing, and they were throwing to the ship and all. That's what it's written. It is a story. It is comes in that. You can see the ships which is there at that time. Now coming to the present situation. Have you gone to all people of Ullal? Have you gone anybody visit Ullal and all? Okay, now I will tell you some places where it is very prominent of Ullal. Whether Ampaka was there or Ampaka was still there, Ampaka is this thing. There is a Vishwanath temple, Vishamurthy temple is there in Uchila. If you go there, the side walls of that it is built by the Ampaka. It is very high this thing. Somanatheshwara Devasthana is there. Even if the Ampakas, even the Ampaka Jain, she was to Basati and she is Aradhya Deva, Somanath temple, Shiva temple. If you go to a Shiva temple, there is a Jaladroni, you call it. Can you make it out? There is a picture is there. She donated that. That is about Linga, you can see that belly, silver district, the water will fall on that. The surroundings of the Ampaka was built by the surrounding of Someshwar temple was built by the Ampaka. They were keeping their guns and all. They were seeing all the places. They were seeing that place because built that place to protect the Somanath Devasthana. Not only see that, they can see the sea also to come Portuguese coming in. They were all holes were there. Now it is not there. If anybody had gone there after 40 years back, it is still there. Now coming to the Ambathakere. You know there is one place Ambathakere is there. That was the kere built by the Rani Ampaka. Now only 2 keres are there. You know where is the palace of Rani Ampaka? It is near the Mukkasheri. In front of the Mukkasheri there is a vast place was there. You can see the Kandaka where the inside rounding this thing, some Kandaka is there. Kandaka means the between two lands, you build a water wall, water wall. So people cannot come and down. That is there. How this Mukkacheriya's name has come? Mukkar was there. Mukkar means that you can call either Muslims or this thing and all. Both this thing. That is what the Mukkacheri name has come. You can see where Chamundeshwari, you can see Bhagavati, you can see Araka Bhagavati. These are all connected with our Rani Ambaka. Kotepura name has come. Kotepura is named not because of the Kote is there. The Kota is a Sainika. Kota was the community people. They were protecting Rani and all. Ullal district is there. They are all connected with Rani. Mastikate, why the Mastikate name has come? Can anybody guess? Mastikate is when the early days when the husband dies, the wife has to die. That is called Mastikate. Mastikate is the place of this thing. Basti Padapu is there. The Basti Padapu is there. What is the way it is called? Basati is there. That even now the Basati is there. It was renovated by Rani Ambaka. There is only one Basati. Adinatha and Pashanatha is staying in there. Only one by this thing. She was a change. All Kirtankars names, but only in one place there is a two. This thing is there. Adinatha and Pashanatha. There is a Ullal Basati is there. We can think of all these things. You can think of even our Ullal this thing also, mosque also. You can see so many things are there. Can you imagine one minute if Appaka would not have been there? Whether Somanatha temple would be there? No. Whether Bhagavad temple would be there? No. Whether Vagar Brahmins are there? No. Whether Moghals should be there? No. Whether Muslims were there? No. Will not be there. Would not have been there. Why can you compare this Ullal to Goa? All temples were raised. All these things were raised. All were converted. All were districts were converted. Because that is why today in this period Ullal Rani Ambaka is very, very, very prominent because of heroic attack, because of her individual thing, because the courageous, the way the natural type of that type of heroic efforts. So comparing Jhansi Rani Lakshmi, comparing Kittur Rani Channamma, they were all fought with the Britishers. Comparing any other people, Holkar and other things, Kittur Rani Channamma fought with the Britishers maybe 5-6 years. Jhansi Rani Lakshmi fought for maybe 2-3 years. Sambhaji Rayana fought for only once. But Rani Ambaka fought for 90 years of her life. Whole Ambaka, she fought for saved Ullal and all. Can it not be, she should be a more than first freedom fighter, this thing? That is why untold story of Rani Ambaka. That's what we in Rani Ambaka. Fought. Saved the Ullal, saved all the people. Harmonically. I'm telling you this thing harmonically. You can see that statue of harmonica you can build here. Prime Minister told about Rani Ambaka yesterday when Chief Minister came, he announced that we will begin the airport, Mangalore airport, which is our demand for the last 27 years. For the first time the announcement came from the Chief Minister that Ullal's Rani Ambaka's name will be kept on the airport. Jairam City's first ambition should be in the district. This media, I request all of you to see that the name of Rani Ambaka is kept on the airport, and please see that. And finally, I am concluding. I just want to ask one question. All these places in Paneer, you know that? And you know that this is the place in Paneer. What prominence is there in Paneer and what I am told a story about? Can anybody tell? Any one of you they can tell. No, I can tell you that. Lastly, I tell you, the Paneer church was built by the Portuguese. The third church built here. The first church was Rosary, Rosara Church. The second was Paragapete. The third church was Paneer Church. The Clara may be knowing it. And this is famous for the Portuguese came and that if you go to the Paneer Church, the small place is there where Portuguese came and built that Paneer Church. So that has got a prominence. So all these things are not because of anywhere you can find it now, but it is true that Paneer Church was built by the Portuguese. In that time also the Portuguese were there here And even Ranipura, the name has come also because of the Rani, Ullal's Rani. All these things are their significance for Rani Ambaka. And I am very much thankful for especially the department for India Institute of Communications. And also especially my thanks goes to Vice Chancellor because he has given me the chance to and all. And all our Raviraj. I'm very much thankful for media people. If you need any corrections, any questions, if you want to ask, because I can always tell. Please understand, I'm not an English medium student, I'm a Kannada medium student. I can understand speaking in English is very difficult, but I spoke, I don't know how far it has come to your knowledge and all. Thanks for everybody for she wants to know who I am and all, actually. In fact, I am not this thing. I am an engineer, professional studied from NIT, almost 930. I was a rank student. Then I worked abroad and I did my MBA also. Of course, our communication and this thing also I did it. And last 27 years I am the president of the BACA. I am a politician also. Everybody knows that I am a politician. I am a member of Ullal municipality from last 20 years. I was president, vice president, all these things. Thanks for calculating your question to give my this thing. Thanks, sir.
Raviraj rightly said it's a red letter day in the history of printed deemed university. And I also say that it's a red letter day in the history of India Institute of Communications. After all, you know that education should not be restricted to four walls and only didactic lectures given by people like me or other professors of the India Institute of Communication. Now we have been exposed to the community. This is what I want to happen in the university. ಈ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯ ಹೊರಗಿನವರಿಗೆ ತೆರೆಯಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ವಿಶಾಲವಾದ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ನಾವು I don't know how many of you joined that particular meeting we had with the farmers. ರೈತರನ್ನು ಕರೆದು ಅವರೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂವಾದವನ್ನು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯ ಏನನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಡಿಪಿನ ರಾಜಾರಾಮ್ ಭಟ್ ಅವರು ಬಂದಿದ್ರು ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ಇತರನ್ನು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ರು. ದೆನ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅವರೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಏನೇನು ವಿಷಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಹೇಗೆ ಗೊಬ್ಬರವನ್ನು ಉತ್ಪಾದಿಸ್ಬೋದು, ಹೇಗೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುವಂಥ ತೊಂದರೆಗಳು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡುವ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಅಂದರೆ ಅಡಿಕೆ ಬೆಳೆಗಾರರನ್ನು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಸಚ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ವೇರ್ ದ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ I think you will be gained in starting the inauguration by speech by Jairam Shetty or speech by Dinakar Ullal. I think this all experience what a communication school students should get. That's a lesson in every way we conduct this program. So you will be exposed how to conduct the programs, how to communicate with people. That's what is required. There's one issue here, one of the important agenda of this meeting. Second, how many of you have visited Ullal? It's a very unfortunate thing that our own students, we go to, even including me, we go to Thailand, we go to Cambodia, we go to Vietnam, we go to America and look at the Statue of Liberty, you go to Europe, ಎಲ್ಲ ತಿರುಗಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ನಾವು ಭಾಳ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಿತ್ರರೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ, ನಾವು ಹಂಚ್ತೇವೆ. ಈ ವರ್ಷ ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಬಂದೆ, ಈ ವರ್ಷ ಯುರೋಪಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಬಂದೆ, ಈ ವರ್ಷ ಅಮೆರಿಕಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಬಂದೆ, ನೋಡಿ ಬಂದೆ, ಭಾಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಬಟ್ ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲನ್ನು ನೋಡುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕಲ್ಚರ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಮರೆತು ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದು ಯಾವ ದೇಶ ಸ್ವಾಭಿಮಾನಿಗಳಿಲ್ಲದಿರುವ ದೇಶ, ಪೇಟ್ರಿಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲದಿರುವಂತ ದೇಶ ಉನ್ನತಿಗೆ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುವುದು ಹಬ್ಬಕ್ಕನಿಗೆ ಆದ ವಿಷಯವೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಗಂಡ ಟ್ರೆಚರಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕೊಲ್ತಾನೆ, ಹೆಂಡತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಲ್ತಾನೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಆಗುದಷ್ಟೇ. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸ್ ಅವರು ಬರಲಿ ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬರು ಬರಲಿ ಅವನಿಗೇನ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವನಿಗೇನ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಅವನ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವನ ಅಡಿಯಾಳಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಾಭಿಮಾನಿಗಳಿಲ್ವೋ, ಯಾವ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ದೇಶದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಭಿಮಾನ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಅಂತ ದೇಶ ಉನ್ನತಿಗೆ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿತಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದು ಜಯಚಂದ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು. ಟ್ರೆಚರಿಗೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕೂಡ ಜಯಚಂದ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ರಾಜರು ಇಲ್ಲದಿದ್ರೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಂತ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೇಶ, ಇಷ್ಟು ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಇರುವಂತ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಜನರಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ನಾವು ಒಬ್ಬರೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಫಿಸ್ಟ್ ಫೈಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸರನ್ನು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರನ್ನು ಓಡಿಸ್ಬೋದಿತ್ತು. ಕೈಯಿಂದ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಓಡಿಸ್ಬೋದಿತ್ತು. ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ಸೋತೇವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯುನಿಟಿ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಯುನೈಟೆಡ್. ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಯುನೈಟೆಡ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸಿ ಫಾರ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್ ಟು they could come and capture India, take our all resources. Why they came to India? Why they came to Ulla? Why they were interested in Ulla? Because it was known for spices, spice trade. Spice ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗ ಬಂಗಾರದಾಗೆ. when spices ನಾನು ರೋಮ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ. ರೋಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದಾಗ ಕೂಡ ಸ್ಪೈಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೈಸಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನು ತರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಈವನ್ ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ ಮಮ್ಮೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಿಂದ ಬಂದಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಂಗ್ರೀಡಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಮ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಉಳ್ಳಾರ್ ವಾಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಉಳ್ಳಾರ್. ಬಟ್ ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ because of one lady, this Abbaka, she fought. That even I didn't know that she fought for according one of this thing history is around 25 to 80. That's what I thought. Maybe she had two she had two daughters. They perpetuated the rule of Ulla. But that Rani Abbaka, even fighting for 3 decades or 4 decades against such a mighty army, because they had gun power. You can imagine it. They had a gun power, whereas she fought with what we call arrows, fire arrows. You may be knowing, you read about her history, fire arrows, an easy way of fighting. That too, she fought during the night. She knew the weaknesses of the enemy. She's a good strategist. All these things, I think we get a lot of lessons. I think she's a really inspiring lady. I think how many of you are in communication school? What is the percentage of boys and girls? Say 60-40?
Yeah, yes.
60-40. I think you see how we are projected outside. I think all of ladies or girls, my girl students, you should give a real picture of India outside. I think we are going to become big media persons in the future. Still the impression about India in the West is other snake charmers with the sadhus, poverty. Don't you think so? Still the people of Western media, they project India like that. Poor and ladies, they don't have any rights. They are neglected. So what is really happening? During 16th century, 1530s or 1580, a lady fought against this thing, and according to me, it's a really true inspiration for all of us. I think that is the reason when Sai Gita and Raviraj said we should have an enlightening talk regarding Rani Abbaka. Immediately I agreed, no second thought. Because when I read about Rani Abbaka, I get goosebumps. Don't you think so? You should read about Rani Abbaka if you are not read. It's a really inspiration for all our girls. And you should write. If you are anybody interested to do some research, somebody can take up PhDs. Go to all the places in Ulla. He said many places like Mukkacheri, that the Har Fort or the mosque. See, one of the very important history. Now we are fighting between the religion. India, we are slowly becoming intolerant. They say intolerant. But what's the success story of Aryabhaka? She brought all the religions together. Jains, Hindus, Muslims, Christians, everybody fought together because they were interested. They wanted to protect their land. They didn't know about whole India. For them, Ulla is their own motherland. India is Lilla. Ulla is their motherland. She wanted to protect their motherland, their own property, their own land against the invaders. Now we call it, definitely it's a sort of freedom strike. So these are the things, I think these are the lessons we have learned in today's thing. All of you should visit. I think teachers of communication school, make small groups, visit small places. This is how it should be taught. ಮರದ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಮರದ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡಿ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಓನ್ಲಿ ವೇ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಲರ್ನ್. ನೋ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಈಗ ನ್ಯೂ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಪೀಪಲ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಇದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಪೊಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡೋದೇ ಅವರ ಒಂದೇ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವೋಟ್. ನ್ಯೂ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕಲಿಯುವ ರೀತಿಯನ್ನು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಬೇರೆ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಕಲಿಯುವ ರೀತಿಯನ್ನು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿಯುವುದಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಸಮಾಜವೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ಸ್. ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ಸ್? ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಇರುವುದು ಸಮಾಜ, ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ, ಇಂಥ ಹಿಸ್ಟಾರಿಕಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್. ಒಂದೊಂದು ಜಾಗವನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ನೀವು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಒಂದೊಂದು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಇವರಿಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಪನೀರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಚರ್ಚ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, ಪನೀರ್ ಚರ್ಚಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುವುದು, ಒಂದು ನೋಡುವುದು, ಪನೀರ್ ಚರ್ಚ್ ಅನ್ನು ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡುವುದು. ಯು ರೈಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಪನೀರ್ ಚರ್ಚ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸ್. ಸಚ್ ಎ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ ಒನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಕಾಲ್ estate. What is the fifth estate? Fourth estate. They make it fifth estate. It's the fourth estate actually. You write an article, Panay Church, and my visit to Panay Church. Then you write about the review article about how Portuguese came to India. ಒಂದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಥವಾ ನನಗೆ ಐ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಫೀಲ್ ಐ ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು opportunity is given to me now, I'll shed my degree, MBBS degree, and I'll join media and communication. Such a beautiful thing. That's after all, you will get money, that's a different issue. But visiting places, seeing people, studying the culture, samskar, you should give samskar to the people. A media should give samskar ಕೊಡುವಂತ ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ದಾರಿ ತಪ್ಪಿದವರು ದಾರಿ ತರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಕೆಲಸ ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಿಂದ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಅನ್ಲೆಸ್ ವಿ ಡೂ ದ್ಯಾಟ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ದಾರಿ ತಪ್ಪಬಾರದು ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಕಳಕಳಿಯ ವಿನಂತಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಪಿಲ್ಲರ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ. ಆಲ್ ದ ಅದರ್ 3 pillars ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಶೇಕಿಂಗ್. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ದಾರಿ ತಪ್ಪಿದಾಗ ನಾವು ಸರಿದಾರಿಗೆ ತರುವಂತ ಕೆಲಸ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ದಿನಕರ ಇದು ನಾನು ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಗೆ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಆರಿಸಿದ್ದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು MBBS ಗೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ದಿನಕರ ಉಳ್ಳವರನ್ನು ಕರೆಸಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿಸಿದರೆ they will not be interested. Medical they are some elite people, they so called thinking is different, Western thinking. Oh, this is all what nonsense. India, they speak, they don't know how to speak good English. They don't know how to grammatical errors. What is communication? ಯಾವ ದಿನಕರ ಉಳ್ಳವರು ಗ್ರಾಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕಲ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅದು you should not bother. What is required is communication. Communication, you see, a very interesting story. Sorry, I'll take a little longer time. Actually, I'm not supposed to speak. This thing, lady, one I saw when it just come to WhatsApp message. She comes to India with a very, very negative thinking, goes to one of the Bangalore city market. She goes to city market. All of you seen that message? She goes, you have seen that WhatsApp, from the WhatsApp University? No, you don't follow WhatsApp University. Because WhatsApp University is one of the parallel universities in the country. You get better or more information by WhatsApp University. That she says, and she go and she's such a worst scenario. She picks up on a lady who prepares garland, jasmine garland, and she talks to her, and then after seeing that, she wants to give money to her, thinking that she is poor. She refuses to take the money. ಒಂದು $100 ಅಥವಾ ಎಷ್ಟು $1 ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅವಳು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಹಣ ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವಳನ್ನು ಇದರಿಂದ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾಳೆ. Then that is what they call swabhiman. She doesn't take. Then she buys a garland and gives some money. She takes. So I think these are all small things, anecdotes. What we can make India really, we can proud of our country. We can relish our culture. We can really should. I think that work should be done by you, communication students. I think you will be the brand ambassadors of India. Project India in the right way. No, if we make mistakes, yeah, I agree. I'm not telling that for everything we should endorse. If we have made mistakes, see, abacus, you see, very, very interesting this thing. She's a matrilineal. Her earlier Santana, I don't know whether all of you who are from other states, we are dear, you know matrilineal, and this thing of this only specific to this place. Very, very special of Tuluva culture. So these are the things should be picked by our students. So I am very, very happy. I am very glad that Abakarani Samiti has taken pains to come here, and they are continuing this work, endorsing and or the propagating the ideals, the people who have fought for our nation. And really, I am really happy that this will be enlightening. It has been a very enlightening talk, and we will continue to relish this for a longer time. I request all the students, take it as a positive program which has happened in the campus. Take some projects related to Rani Abaka, I think by the end, and you can bring on the issue on Rani Abaka's. We got issue once in 2 months. I think communication school is coming out with wonderful contribution by the students. I think Rani Abaka, or you can take some other interesting stories of very freedom fighters, female freedom fighters of India. You can select, or you can get 2-3 issues. These are all the positive things you have learned in this particular. I hope our friends from Rani Abaka Utsava Samiti are ನೀವು ಬಂದದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಅಭಿನಂದನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿ ನನ್ನ 2 ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ.
Our sincere gratitude is there for all of you, especially Vice Chancellor and all professors and other things. One thing I just want to mention, the communication people who are all here, please note that all important things about the Portuguese, this thing is there in Panaji. Chronically it is written, day by day it is written there in Portuguese language. And that was transported to Lisbon. If anybody is interested in knowing Abakas or achievements of Portuguese, people has to go to Lisbon. And everything is there in that this thing, right from beginning, because they are very good in writing and keeping records of all these things, Portuguese. And if research can be done, even now continuation has not been done by many people, Portuguese or Abakas. So our small memento for our Vice Chancellor. I don't think to give a small memento about from Abacus Committee to our Vice Chancellor. I request Salam Mangera to give a memento to Raviraj, Professor Raviraj, kindly give. great Sai Gita is here. Please come to that and take a moment of Rani Bhattacharya.
For giving us the deciding this. So, reiterating few of the words our beloved Vice Chancellor said, that the historians say that at any given point of time, in 250 years of British rule, there were not more than 1,500 British soldiers in India. So just compare it to our population. So as I said, maybe with just simple fight we would have thrown them out, but it was not possible because we were not united. Second, that we also observe that not many students have visited Ullal. I will request Mr. Dilkar Ullal, we will take our students and faculty to Ullal. Please help us out in identifying these places. We will communicate this with you. Thank you. On behalf of all of us present here, may I request our Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Satish Kumar Bhandari, to hand over a token of our gratitude to Mr. K. Jairam Shetty, former MLA, Government of Kannada. Also to Mr. Anand K. Asai. And lastly to Ms. Dhanlakshmi Jai.
ನಿಟ್ಟೆ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಷನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಉಳ್ಳಾಳ ವೀರರಾಣಿ ಹಬ್ಬಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿ ಜಂಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಯೋಜನೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ ಭಾರತದ ಪ್ರಪ್ರಥಮ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರ್ತಿ ರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕನ ಅನ್ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಈ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ನೀಡಿದಂತಹ ಸಂದರ್ಭ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷ ಸ್ಥಾನವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಿಕೊಂಡವರು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿ ಸತೀಶ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಭಂಡಾರಿ, ವೈಸ್ ಚಾನ್ಸಲರ್ ನಿಟ್ಟೆ ಡೀಮ್ಡ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜಂಟಿ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರೀತಿಪೂರ್ವಕ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಹಾಗೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ದೀಪ ಬೆಳಗುವುದರ ಮೂಲಕ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ ಉಳ್ಳಾಳದ ಮಾಜಿ ಶಾಸಕರು, ವೀರರಾಣಿ ಹಬ್ಬಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಕೆ. ಜಯರಾಮ್ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಜಂಟಿ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇವೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಹಬ್ಬಕ್ಕನ ಬದುಕಿನ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಕಹಿ ಸತ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ತಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಇಟ್ಟಂತಹ ನಮ್ಮ ಉಳ್ಳಾಳ ವೀರರಾಣಿ ಹಬ್ಬಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದ ದಿನಕರ್ ಉಳ್ಳಾಳವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಜಂಟಿ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜಂಟಿ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದಂತಹ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಉಳ್ಳಾಳ ಮಗವೀರ ಸಂಘದ ಮಾಜಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಜಂಟಿ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಅವರನ್ನು ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ರವಿರಾಜ್ ಇವರು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕರುಗಳನ್ನ, ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ, ಉಳ್ಳಾಳ ವೀರರಾಣಿ ಹಬ್ಬಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಕ್ರಿಯ ಸದಸ್ಯರನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಬಹಳ ಆತ್ಮೀಯವಾಗಿ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಈ ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ